Robert is a film that I watched a long time ago. I don't believe I'd ever discussed it as part of a film roundup or anything that I've done, but I certainly hadn't reviewed it on its own, so I decided to give it another go. I didn't remember loving it, but I thought I'd check it out and see what it's like, see if it jogs any memories. I can say when watching it, I didn't really remember a lot of it, so that worked well. I was basically going in with a fresh perspective, and it's okay. It's not as bad as I expected, partly because I remembered not loving it, but also it has 3 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a really poor rating. But I don't think it needs to be that low. It's not amazing, but I don't think it needs to be 3 out of 10. This was released in 2015. It's written and directed by Andrew Jones, and we have a cast including Suzanne Dalloway, Flynn Allen, and Lee Bane. And we have a brilliant doll design. The doll is Robert, and I have to say I love the design of the doll. That does look really, really great. The narrative is, well, it's an interesting enough concept. It starts off with some really terrible camera angles. Not that I'm an expert by any means, but for me, the camera angles in the first couple of scenes were really poor. But that seemed to go away as the film went on. So if you watch the first couple of scenes and thought this is just terrible, maybe stick with it. It does get better. But the film is about the doll, Robert, of course. And unfortunately, at the start of the film, Agatha, the nanny, is fired from her job. They don't think that she's as sharp as she once was. They decide to let her go. And Agatha decides to get revenge by giving Jean, the son, Robert the doll. And we learn quite quickly that there's something sinister about Robert the doll. When we get to see the doll, it's quite creepy. I don't think the doll features anywhere near as much as it should do. It has a really creepy design, and they could have really lent into that a lot more by showing us the doll a lot more frequently than they did. So that didn't work very well. And unfortunately, the rest of the film just isn't scary. It's not bad with regards to the narrative. It flows well, the pacing's fine. What's happening makes sense within the context of the story, and I believe that Robert the doll is doing these things, but it's not scary. There's absolutely nothing about this that is scary. So if you're a horror fan, you won't like it. But if you're new to horror and you're not sure what your tolerance is, some people can handle really scary horror films, other people prefer films that are maybe a little bit more tame. It could be a good entry level. If you're not sure if you're going to be comfortable watching a doll-based horror film, give it a go. And if this scares you, I'd say maybe avoid some of the darker films. But if you watch this and think, yeah, that was fine, it wasn't scary, then it might be time to progress to something a little scarier, a little darker. So maybe as an entry-level doll-based horror film, Robert might be okay. It's maybe a teeny tiny bit suspenseful here and there. But while we have the anticipation of Robert going to do something, it never really delivers. So it's not scary, but Robert the doll looks brilliant, and the story works. It's just not scary. So do I recommend it? Not if you're a horror fan, but if you are new to horror, or maybe if you're a horror fan but you're not sure if you'll enjoy doll horror, not sure if it'll be for you, give this a go. If you watch it and it's absolutely fine, it doesn't terrify you, then that's a good sign that maybe you're ready to progress onto something darker. As I know, doll horror in particular is one subgenre that really divides people. People like me either really, really love it, or a lot of people are just, no, they won't go there, they won't touch it because dolls are very creepy, and obviously dolls are something that are, obviously, they're in real life. So if you are in that position where you're not sure if you're ready to watch doll-based horror, give it a go. And if it really scares you, I'd say absolutely don't go near any other doll horror at the moment. Well, you can try it, but it might not be a very pleasant experience. But if you watch this and it doesn't faze you, doesn't affect you, it's a good time to progress to Annabelle and Chucky and some of the other dark doll horrors. So it's not a good horror film, but the story is fine. Robert the doll looks fantastic. The acting's not bad. The lighting's fine. The camera work's not always great. It's not 3 out of 10. I don't give ratings out of 10, generally speaking, but if I were, I'd give it maybe a 4.5 or a 5. Obviously, in terms of being a horror film, I'd probably give it a 2 or a 3. But as a package, a lot of the elements are a lot better than that. So it's fine. It's not great. If you're a horror fan, I don't think you'll enjoy it. But if you're new to horror, then maybe Robert the Doll is a good stepping stone. For that reason, it might be worth watching.